Do you have any questions for us?
How long are you gonna need my phone?
I'm not sure. I'm waiting for my supervisor to call me.
My dad. It's just my dad's using that to get a hold of me and get updates.
They can call Jen's phone.
Okay.
Did the other detective give you his business card?
I believe so.
Okay, well, here's mine in case you want it for any reason.
Okay.
Okay? Do you swear that everything you told us is true?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it. I know it's a little hectic right now.
There's a lot in there. There's a lot. Let's get to some of it, but I need some help. Let's bring in our special guest joining us in Orlando, Florida.
So he's lied about so many things that it's just so crazy. But this is how an interview, this is how an interrogation works. And believe it or not, it is it's helpful that he lies. Let him keep lying. Let him keep lying because they know the truth. And at some point, they're going to challenge him with the truth that they know. And he's not going to be able to stand up to it. He's not going to be able to stand up to what the truth is. And when they first find the pictures in his phone, that is when he immediately asks for an attorney. He just says, I think that I want to consult with an attorney, So on February 27th, Detective Hunt from the Orange County Sheriff's Office received information that did not report to school on the previous day. Of course, that's Madeline Soto. Therefore, Detective Hunt began his investigation. Detective Hunt interviewed, it's redacted, and Stephan during the initial phase of this investigation. During these interviews, Detective Hunt noticed some inconsistencies. And then there was a Detective Tagler came in. They were provided with the locations of Stephan's vehicle, a 2010 silver Lincoln MKZ bearing Florida tag, Ida Yellow Larry 82 had been seen during the time Stephan stated he dropped off Madeline to school. Detective Tagler confronted Stephan about his locations during the interview, but Stephan would provide answers that did not match up to his vehicle location. Stephan provided consent to search his phone. However, he stated he accidentally performed a factory reset, which we all heard about, on his phone on 2/26/24. Detective Tagler asked Stephan a second time if he consented to the download of his phone, and he agreed and provided his passcode. Detective Tagler then proceeded to the security gate at Venetian Bay to review video. Upon reviewing the security video, Detective Tagler observed Stephan's vehicle exiting the complex with a female wearing a green sweater in the front passenger seat. The female was slumped over to her left, which was an abnormal way for a person to be seated in a vehicle. At that point, Detective Tagler decided to secure the residence, and that's, of course, the residence that Madeline lived at, and her mom, Jennifer, and they decided to secure that residence for a search warrant. So obviously, that's so important because they believe that was the location where the murder took place.
But they were pretty sure with that video that Madeline was not alive when she left that apartment complex. He did, though, we know that has not been released yet, but I have been told they do have other video of him moving her from the front seat of that car into another location before they say he dumped her body.
Wow. That's the first time that I have heard that. So we've all had questions. Well, how did they know she was dead just because she was riding in the car slumped over? This is the first time I'm hearing that they have other video of him moving her from the car to another location, and she was dead. So what are we supposed to surmise with that the location of the murder was the home? I think there's no doubt about that.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Let's get back to the timeline. Still February 27th, based on surveillance video, authorities request search warrants for the home and for Stephan Sterns' phone. Next day, while a search warrant is executed at the home, authorities begin going through Sterns' phone. Upon reviewing the contents of Stephan's phone, it was discovered several images were saved in a Google Drive. One folder that appeared to dedicated to Madeleine contained over 1,700 files. A majority of these photographs, this is tough stuff, folks, and videos. Photographs and videos showed Madeleine in different sexual positions. Based upon these images, Orange County detectives began to author an arrest warrant for Stephan Sterns. Ken Jackson, this was the first big moment in the investigation, and it was based upon what they found in the phone. Now we know it's photographs and videos, but 1,700 files.
Yeah, that number really doesn't shock me.
You know, folks, this is like, for most people that don't follow true crime, this is so horrific. And the 60 charges against him, they were enough to put him in prison for the rest of his life. However, the detectives knew, and the big charge they wanted, of course, was to be able to prove murder in the first degree, which is what Stephan Sterns is currently charged with. And that is what we all want to know, how they built that case. We want to know all. Look, we still don't know how Madeleine was killed. We don't know the cause of death. The manner of death is murder, right? Homicide. And again, I'll just go over it. Manner of death: homicide, suicide, accidental, natural, or undetermined. Those are the 5 manners of death. Cause of death was actually how the person was killed. Blunt trauma, asphyxia, gunshot wound. So it differs. It's good to know that it's confusing. Susie Dupree, yes, there was 1 terabyte of evidence, and I'll go over some of that evidence later on, but we want to know that the evidence in this case is so strong, so powerful, that he could never possibly get away with this. Folks, this is Police Off the Cuff, real crime stories. If you like real crime, true crime from a police perspective, then you're in the right place. And if you're not subscribed to us, go on our YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell, hit the like button, share us with your friends and your family. It's free to subscribe to us on our YouTube. But if you want to contribute to us financially, we have a Patreon with 4 different levels. And we also have a a YouTube channel memberships with, count them, 5 different levels. And we appreciate all of our friends, our family, our subscribers that have made this channel what it is. It's continuing to grow, and it's getting better and better. I've been going solo quite a lot lately because my 2 co-hosts that usually come, they got busy lives, but they'll be making appearances, and especially Mike Geary, Professor Mike, fantastic, and also Phil Grimaldi, who's been taking a short hiatus, but he's going to be back soon. DB from the chat, yeah, he's a monster. We all know that, but common sense tells us her behavior had to change after being consistently exploited, and mommy had to recognize that change. Cuff her. DB, I agree with you. I cannot. This went back to when Madeleine was 8 years old. This went on for 5 years. Can you imagine what a sick dude this guy is? That this went on from the time this little girl was 8 years old.